Wow, looks like spring is here, and it's time to prepare for the 2012 backpacking season. Believe me, prepare or you'll have one tough trip or two. This will be part one of a two-part series. This one focusing on the challenge of 2012 for my backpacking trips, all with the intention of stimulating each of you to plan exciting backpacks and prepare so you'll enjoy and even be inspired with this season. Of course, this is looking at it as an old, worn out geezer in his 77th year. I'm still dealing with my High Uinta Wilderness project, and so that's where my trips are going to be. 4 of them scheduled for August when there are fewer mosquitoes and the weather is better. One challenge will be to finally get to Crow Basin, part of the smallest drainage in the High Uintas. Another will be to Crater Lake, the deepest in the High Uintas. Then to the off-trail and never-pictured Reconnaissance Lake and Triangle Mountain area in the far reaches of Rock Creek on the south slope. Of course, I can't forget my tie hackers, so I'll explore again the mysterious and rarely visited middle fork of Bikes Fork. Now let me take you on the tour, first using some wonderful photographs, aerial photographs, loaned to me by my friend Jonathan Jousey, looking here at Crow Basin. Crow Basin I attempted to get to last year, and I got to where I could see it, but I was not able to get down into the basin. But here you can see the basin, you can see all the lakes involved. There's about 9 or 10 of them that have fish. And then we go a little bit to the west, and we can see in the upper reaches a place where perhaps I can get down into the basin. Then we move over further to the west, and we see Jackson Park, beautiful meadow area. And we swing around it to the southern end, where the only water is in the area, and then we go a little bit further to the south and see a place on the southern end of it where perhaps I can get down into the basin. As there are no trails into the area, and it's just going to be fun to finally get into that area and explore all of the lakes. Next, we are on the Crater Lake Trail, climbing what I call East Fork Pass, having come up the East Fork of Bikes Fork, and we're seeing Mount Lavinia here, and we're on the pass, one of the highest in the Uintas, even though it's not called a pass, but it should be. And then we're on our way towards Red Knob and Red Knob Pass, looking here towards the Dead Horse area, and then looking here towards Explorer Peak and the Glacial Cirque, where Crater Lake is found, the deepest in the High Uintas at 147 feet. This is an incredibly wonderful area, and I want to get up on that ridge to the north to get the ultimate photograph of this area, which I've never seen pictured in any of the guidebooks again. Then we'll go on to Reconnaissance Lake and Triangle Mountain, another area which to me rivals the Red Castle area as one of the most beautiful in all of Utah, but an area that's off trail and not pictured anywhere, and not visited perhaps too often, but a wonderful, beautiful area where I've been, I guess, 3 times, and I cannot hang up my backpack until I make it into that area one more time and explore some of the other lakes in the area that I haven't actually got to. And last of all, but which will actually be my first trip of the season, I'm gonna once again be hot on the trail of the tie hackers. Just a word of explanation for those who don't know what tie hackers are. In 1867, they were building the Transcontinental Railroad, crossing north of the Uintas in Wyoming, and they needed millions of railroad ties. And so Irish lumbermen were sent into the north slope of the Uinta Mountains and other places to work 12 months a year, cutting by hand railroad ties. They worked often more in the wintertime, so they could transport the railroad ties over the snow, and they would accumulate them behind what they called the splash dams, and then wait for the runoff in the spring to have them, in some cases, they would just blow the dam and have these railroad ties washed downstream into Wyoming, where they would be picked up by the railroad. And so the tie hackers had their cabins and their little communities, which are ghost towns now, all over the north slope of the Uintas. And the area where I have seen the most ruins of the tie hackers, but which area is never mentioned as being a tie hacker area, is the middle fork of Black's Fork. And so I will be going up into this area towards Sokoana Peak, one of the named 13,000 foot peaks in the Uintas, and I will be crisscrossing back and forth this whole area, and I will map the area and all the ruins of tie hackers and date them, and come out of there with a very good picture of what was going on in that area. And then after I have acclimatized myself and kind of got used to backpacking and maybe stronger, hopefully stronger, I will then move up the basin into the alpine area to visit Bob's Lake and 3 other lakes that are in that area, very small ones, and I believe 2 of them possibly have fish, and so I want to explore them. So now we come to the question, how the heck is this old geezer going to do all of this, or at least have any chance at all? And you and your backpacks, how are you going to be able to do what you plan on and enjoy it and love it? First is you've got to have the passion. You've got to want it real bad. And then you've got to be willing to work for it, or train and get in shape so that you can do it. I am doing this by working through the rest of the year as a shopping cart herder and a lot of other things at Ream Supermarket in Springville. And so I do 7-8 miles 4 times a week, pushing shopping carts and running out to help the ladies with their purchases. And then at home I work out with a pack on my back and watch games while I'm doing it, as you'll see here.
Make it tough on Zimmer, will you? Give me a hard count. Come on, bring it. When did a 10 answer? Josh Howard will check in. 3:29 remaining first quarter, and Hayward goes out.
John Moore is checking in there as well.
Last 5
3, short of the goal. Toilet, they have numbers here. Calario lays it in. Long outlet, Carlino,
I have to be sure, no matter how many time zones I've crossed.
When I'm on my feet for hours.
Wait, it's game time.
When the day's only half over, when my energy is all gone.
When I need the energy to start exercising every day.
Every day.
Every day is a 5-hour energy day.
5-hour energy. Every day. Wouldn't it be cool if you took the top down?
Okay, so you've got to work out, you've got to prepare, you've got to get strong. Your legs and your back and your whole physical system. One thing that's important for me is to remember my 2011 backpacking season. Some of you might remember because I did a bunch of YouTube videos advising everybody about accessibility. But my first planned trip and my second planned trip and my third planned trip were all failures. I went for a whole month going up into the Uintas and just finding too much snow, finding roads washed out, bridges gone, areas with too much snow, just inaccessible. And so it was a month of basically doing nothing before I finally got to backpacking, and I found that I had got out of shape terribly. And so I started having difficulties, and I even had my forest Gump moment where I said, I'm pretty tired. I think I'll go home now. But then I thought afterwards, nope, I'm not supposed to give in. We are not supposed to give in. And so the challenge is, how the heck am I going to do it this year? And of course, I am working out and doing my darndest to be strong. But then you come to the question again, what else do I have to do to have a chance? And so this will be explained in part 2, which is overcoming obstacles with good nutrition and supplements. So I'll go through the problems that I have, and I've got some real tough ones that I've been dealing with, and some new ones that I'm dealing with, and I'll talk about all of the things that I do and take to be able to do still all of this in my 77th year. And so make sure and tune in for the part 2 of this whole idea of preparing for a great 2012 backpacking season.